Hi everyone. So we've had a new product line here at Wheelspin Models. We've started importing Pandora RC body shells. These are mainly sort of drift related body shells from cars from the Japanese domestic market era. So this is a JZX 100. They do S14s, they do PS13s, so they're very drift orientated. Because of that, they're moulded slightly different, so it's not just a one-piece body shell. They do have the bumpers moulded separately and some light buckets in there and stuff like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you a quick video now on how to cut them out, and just to give you some guidelines on how you'd fit the bumpers and that sort of thing, just to make sure that you don't accidentally cut them out wrong and then you can't attach your bumpers to them. So for the purpose of this video, we will be focusing on the body shell, which means this handsome face isn't going to be in the video, but unfortunately you will see a little bit of my podgy belly. So watch the video and we'll see how we get on from there. So we've started getting some Pandora body shells in. For those of you that don't know Pandora, it's a brand of body shell. They mainly deal with drift style bodies, so bodies that are mainly Japanese cars for the Japanese domestic import. So this one is a JZX 100, so this is a Toyota Chaser. And what we're going to do is we're just going to open this up, show you what comes in the bag, and because they're a little bit different to most body shells, we're going to show you what you get with them, and also some little basic feedback on how to cut them out. So first thing we're going to do is, obviously we've opened the bag and we've got the masking sheet and the decal sheets out of it. So we're going to get the body out now, and effectively the body comes out and it's one big piece. But what you've got is you've got the main body itself. You then have a front and rear bumper that are separate, and then down the side you've got various bits. So like for instance, this one's got rear light buckets this side, front light buckets this side, and a rear spoiler. And basically there are certain bits of the body shell that you follow the cut lines, and it has perfect mouldings on them, so as you still leave bits on the body shell to attach the bumpers to with double-sided tape afterwards. So we're just going to go through and we're just going to show you roughly how to cut it out. So for the benefit of the video, I'll just run through what we've got. So we've got a curved pair of scissors, a craft knife. I've got a straight pair of scissors. I've also got a Sharpie marker. Now this basically, for the purpose of the video, you don't need to use this, but this was for the purpose of the video, just to show you that effectively what you do is there's a line around the body shell, which I'm just going to colour in very quickly here, just so you can see some of it on the video. I'm not going to go around the whole car, but there is a moulded line around the body shell, which I'll just draw in for you around the front bumper on this one. So I don't know if you can see that on the video, but what we've done is effectively there's a little moulded line around the body shell that drops down into the wheel arch here, and then back up across the front of the body shell here. Because the bumper's separately, there's no bumper in this bit, and then back down the wheel arch this side. That moulded line is where you cut it, and these little extra flaps that you're putting on here are for your double-sided tape, so you can fasten the bumpers on separately. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to go through and we're going to cut it out. And when we cut it out, we're going to be very careful to not cut any of these bits from the side, and we're going to cut off across the bumpers here, making sure we don't cut any of the bumper markings. So I'm going to take my scissors and pick a place where we know there's no mouldings that you need to do. So what I've done there is effectively just remove the piece of Lexan that's got the rear front and rear bumper and the rear light buckets on, and I've not cut through any of the mould lines for those, so we can cut those out in a second. Down the one side of this body shell we still have the front light buckets and the front grille, so again I'm just going to cut those off separately. So again I've got those off. Again, we haven't cut any of them, and we'll cut those out in a second. So now we're left with the basic body shell, and again you've got, as I say, that mould line all the way around, so we're just going to follow that mould line all the way around. We're going to use curved scissors for the wheel arches.
there's loads of different ways of doing it. You know, some people will tell you a craft knife works best. Some people will tell you curved scissors works best. The honest answer is it's whatever you feel comfortable with. I tend to use curved scissors for the wheel arches and a craft knife for the straight edges. So we're just going to go through and we'll get this basic body shell cut out, and then we'll just show you what it should look like once it's done. So what we've done there is we've got the main body cut out now, and as you can see, we've got obviously wheel arches, side skirts are cut out all straight, but you'll see clearly there's no front bumper and there's no rear bumper, but there is just these little bit of Lexan parts just down on either side of the body shell where you can double side tape your bumper to. So we'll just cut those out and then I'll show you how you do that as well. So now we have the bumpers cut out, and if we bring the body shell back over, so what we've got now is obviously your front and rear bumper, and then they will literally slot on the outside of what's left there when you cut it out. And then the general idea is once it's all painted and everything, you will put some double side tape on the Lexan bit that's still attached to the body, and then your bumper will literally just double side tape onto it. So you can clearly see the line that I drew round for the first one, so you can see it through the Lexan there. So your bumper would just double side tape on there, and the same on the other side, and then it will give you the finished look to the front of the car. And then you've got the same with the rear. Again, you've got a body line here there your bumper comes to, and there's a bit of extra Lexan. So again, your double-sided tape will go on there, and literally that will just sit onto your double-sided tape. And again, you would just literally double-sided tape your bumper on. You can put some screws, like some little screws through it if you wanted to. I do find double-sided tape works just as good. Of course, the other option is it's a drift car, so you could potentially leave the rear bumper off and just run it without a rear bumper. Some people do that, some people don't. There's various options on choice. So that's the very, very basics of cutting a Pandora body shell out. Now, there are some other parts still here. So we've got rear spoiler for the window, roof spoiler for the window, and the light buckets. So again, if we just cut through these very quickly. So there you go. So we've got the basics cut out now. You have just seen me cut the light buckets out as well, and the rear spoiler. So basically, there's several different bits to them, as I said, and it's all about sort of like giving it the best look possible. So your rear spoiler is cut out, and that will just again double side tape to the top of the rear window on this model. There will be different on different models of car, obviously, but again, it's cut out following the little mould line. And then the other option as well, as I say, you've got the light buckets. Now when you come to paint these, if you mask off the lights, you paint the light buckets and they go inside the shell behind the lens to give you a 3D effect on the light bucket, and effectively just give it a better performance on that. So we've got obviously rear ones as well, and that's basically the very basics of how to cut one out. The best advice I could give would be take your time. As I say, if you're really struggling, get your permanent marker and follow all of the lines. Obviously I've done this many times before, so I only did a quick version of following the lines just to show you how to do it. But if you need to, go around all of your mould lines with a permanent marker, just so as when you've got the scissors in your hand, you know what line you're following, and just take your time And you know, if you have got any questions, obviously we're always at the end of the phone, and we're always at the end of an email, and you can always call us and email us. But hopefully that should tell you how to do it. Most Pandora body shells are the same, so it doesn't matter what style of car you've got, they will all come with the separate parts, and you just cut them out and add them together. Keep watching for further videos. We're gonna do a little video on how to mask this up and how to paint it, but that'll be another video. But this one is obviously just for cutting it out for you. So that's it. So that's the body shell cut out and all ready to go for you. Don't forget that we do sell your paints and your masking tape, so we can do everything to make your masterpiece. Good luck, and we'll see you soon.